Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to Iron Man's Life. My name is Ali. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you're keeping well. One of the challenges that we have as LEGO city builders, be it if you're building a city on a table, or in a shelf, or maybe on the floor somewhere, it doesn't matter. We always love to build our LEGO city and the streets within the LEGO city. But it is the ends of the streets, the corners, that does add some challenges to our city. Namely, because a lot of buildings have the exposed ugly brickwork on the side that is meant to be hidden. And also the fact that we love our minifigures, we need a place for the minifigures to walk around the building unless they have some kind of weird death wish and like to walk on the road and have the risk of being run over. The current modulars that we have available from LEGO at the time of recording, the Boutique Hotel is really the only official LEGO modular corner building. However, you do have the Sanctum Sanctorum from the Marvel line and the Ninjago City Gardens, even though it is part of the Ninjago City sets and not fully compatible with our urban streets of pavements and not surrounded by water. So I wanted to share with you some ideas, some of the things I've done in my city to help you overcome that challenge of how to add some corners and add some uniqueness and some ideas to your city. One way to add corners to your city is actually convert some of your existing modulars to corner buildings. Rebrickable.com is probably one of the best sources and best tools that you can go to, and is jam-packed with awesome designers submitting their instructions to be able to do just that and also have their own designs on there. One such example is the Jazz Cafe, where a designer converted the straight building into a corner build. Awesome. It fitted so perfectly into my city. Even some of the older sets, like the old bookshop and townhouse, there's a couple of designs on there that have converted that into a lovely corner building as well. And it's not just existing sets that you can convert into corner builds. There are so many designers on there that have provided some awesome builds, especially corner buildings. Just head into the search box and type in corner, go into the drill down, select modular buildings as a category, and then that's an awesome start to hopefully get some inspiration and some designs that you can download the instructions for and start building and adding some great corner builds to your city. One hidden tip is that you may already have the easiest corner build in your modular building collection already if you have it, and that is the Assembly Square. It's an awesome set. I love this set. I know it's retired, but maybe some of you have had this, and if you do, if you've noticed, this side of the set, this building, actually is an amazing corner building all by itself. If you can detach it, 16 studs wide on a half base plate, with some slight modifications, you have a nice ready-made corner building immediately, on both sides, to be fair. When space is premium, and I'm sure it is for a lot of us city builders, the half base plate is going to be your friend. It provides the best foundation when space is tight, and if you have one of these at the end of your street, you can save yourself at least a base plate worth of space. And I love using the half base plates for my buildings because then it adds so much compactness and different types of buildings into my city. But specifically for corner builds, the half base plate really is invaluable, and you can do a lot of things on here and immediately add some really dynamic corners to your city builds. So what can you actually do on these things? Another designer They're on Rebrickable, but they also have their own website, Brickative. I'm a big fan of their designs. They have quite a few designs that have buildings specifically to fit on a half base plate, and you can add to the corners of the buildings. One of their designs is the Holiday Main Street alternative design, which I think looks absolutely fantastic and can really fit in really nicely against the design of the existing modulars that LEGO have produced. They also did one on the Creator 3-in-1 noodle shop, again utilizing the same kind of orientation on the half base plates. This one is slightly modified from their version, but that's the beauty of LEGO, right? Just add your own little touches to it. And if you fancy having a go at yourself, one great idea is to utilize the family reunion Chinese New Year set and convert that into a nice little cute modular building that fits onto a nice half base plate. And it doesn't end there. You can take inspiration from the LEGO City sets, even the Ninjago line sets, and my favorite LEGO Friends. They have really nice sets that have some really nice facades, really nice. And with some slight modification, you can fit them onto a half base plate really well. I know they don't have a back, but you can always add one. Or do you really need to add a back? Because it is going to be pushed up against another building and it's not going to be visible to anybody. So it's not always necessary just to fill it out. And then you have a very quick, easy way of utilizing the half base plate and one of the existing sets from those lines and creating your own little corner built for your city. To help with the dimensions of if you're creating your own building on a half base plate, you have a couple of options. Generally, the rule of thumb is to start your building 6 studs in. This usually gives you enough space for the pavement, footpaths, sidewalk, whatever you want to call it. And so it is pretty compatible with other modulars that you have this up against. And then that leaves you 10 studs as a depth for the building itself. And that gives you quite a bit of a real estate to work with. And quite challenging as well to be able to be a lot more creative with the space that you have, and a lot less bricks and parts in to a certain degree. Now, lengthwise, you do have then a couple of options. You can utilize then the full length of the base plate. If you're utilizing this 6 stud depth for the footpath or pavement. And then you're left with the remaining 24 studs or so for the length of the building. The only caveat with this is that it may only fit a certain way on your street, in a certain orientation on usually the left side of the building of your street. If you wanted to have it on the other side, then you would need to have it on the opposite block. You would then need to modify it if you wanted to place this on the right side of the street by placing this down a little bit. So you have to worry about where you're actually going to place the corner build on this base plate, as with any other corner builds really. The other option, and this is one I usually use quite a lot because I like it because it adds the flexibility, is then put the building in the middle of the base plate. So again, working to our kind of general rule of thumb of 6 studs on the left, the bottom, and the right, and then working with a 10 studs depth, and then you're left then with a 20 stud length building that you can work with. And I like this a lot because this gives me a lot of flexibility of where I can place in the city. And if you're anything like me, I love to change the layouts and the locations of my buildings in my city a lot. So this adds you more flexibility, whereas this method gives you a lot more real estate to work with. And it doesn't have to be buildings on the sides and the corners of your street. So it can be anything that you want. What I like to do is add some trees. It's always nice to have some foliage in the city. You know, we need the oxygen. The minifigures need the oxygen. One great idea is utilize the bonsai tree set that came out. And then you got a nice, quick, ready-made tree there and then, and you can fit that onto a base plate, and it just adds a beautiful rest area. Put a couple of benches on there, and that gives you a nice little corner straight away. And trees are great because I like to use them, especially the high ones, because they can also hide some of the uglier parts of the building without having another building up against it as well, like this custom tree here. Other ideas could be car parking, it could be food kiosks. One such design I put in here was a little skate park as well. So really, your imagination is the only limitation here. So please let me know in the comments some of your ideas, because I love to hear them. I hope that's helped you, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace and love.